The Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy is back for its third season. The joint initiative between WRC tyre manufacturer DMACK and M Sport sees 10 young drivers from around the world compete in identical Ford Fiesta R2 cars. They will be fighting it out over 5 rounds of the FIA World Rally Championship across events on both gravel and tarmac, all gunning for the biggest prize in rallying, 7 rounds in the WRC2 Championship. The trophy has once again proved its global appeal, attracting drivers from around the world, including Kenya, USA and Europe. 4 drivers have never competed on a WRC event before, including 18-year-old Nicolas Siermin from France, the youngest of the group.
Everything's new for me, so I'm not here to push, I'm just here to go to the end of the rally, discover and learn, which is the most important. And I think I learned a lot and have fun. I think it will be very fun.
It's great to be back and I can't wait to get started.
Great cars, great championship, great prizes.
Last year's winner, Marius Aarsen from Norway, has stepped up to WRC2 in an M Sport run Fiesta R5 as his prize drive from last year.
It was my second year in the DMACK Trophy last year, and for me the first year it was all about learning, and the second year I really wanted to win, and that was the aim for the whole season. And this year is just a dream come true, because I've always dreamed about doing a full season in a WRC2 car, and it's a big step forward in my career. So I wanted to make it step by step, and hopefully in the end of this year we can have a good speed and try to put on some good results.
This year the first round returns to Porto for the Vodafone Rally de Portugal, held over challenging gravel roads in the north of the country. It wasn't the best of starts for Norway's Oscar Solberg after the teenager rolled his car halfway through stage 2. He later retired with broken suspension, but both he and Jakub Brzezinski from Poland will return again tomorrow.
We was coming too fast down a tarmac section, and then we was on the steering up a hill and roll around, and then we was keep going again, and then and the wheels gone off, so that can happen.
Britain's Gus Greensmith, last year's rookie champion, used his experience to take an early lead, but a double puncture dropped him back to 5th. Last year's Portugal winner Max Vatanen had a solid run to finish the first day in 3rd position.
Well, it has been a quite challenging day. We had lots of technical problems with the car, struggling a lot, so I'm quite happy that we didn't retire on the stage. So happy to be here, and hopefully we get the car fixed and tomorrow we can go back on and do some good times.
Ocean Price from Wales completed most of the day's stages in the top 3 and avoided the tough, rocky conditions to hold 2nd place overnight, just 41 seconds off the lead. Local star Bernardo Sosa used his home advantage to go fastest on the opening stage on Thursday night by just half a second. He topped the times again on stage 3 and inherited the lead on stage 7 after Greensmith dropped off the top.
Great day, car was great, and both lead. Looking forward for tomorrow, and I will try to continue doing the great job.
So confirmation of Sosa's lead over Price, with Vatanen a further 54 seconds back in 3rd. Dylan Van Wey from the USA is 4th, with Greensmith rounding out the top 5. Day 2 of the Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy's opening round at Rally Portugal took the 10 crews east of the host city of Porto to battle over a loop of 3 tough stages. Series newcomer Dylan Van Wey was getting into the groove on his World Rally Championship debut. He had an impressive opening day yesterday, but crashed off the road on stage 12 this morning and sadly was forced to retire. Kenya's Karen Patel was also focusing on learning both the car and the Rally Portugal stages, but he too was caught out by the tricky conditions on the same stage and rolled, badly damaging his Fiesta R2. Early rally leader Gus Greensmith had his sights firmly set on a charge for the podium. He was quickest through stage 11 this morning, but his fight back ground to a halt on the following run through Amarante when a broken drive shaft ended his challenge.
Started off okay in the morning with the third fastest time and then stepped it up and got a fastest. And then unfortunately in the long stage we had another puncture and then the drive shaft broke and we couldn't continue. But like I said, there's lots of positives to take. We had really good pace, really strong. We were able to control the pace that we were driving from the front, but unfortunately we didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Finland's Max Vatanen used his experience from last season when he won this event, and he picked up his pace today. A string of top 3 times saw Vatanen, son of 1981 World Rally champion Ari, strengthen his position on the final step of the podium. He holds a secure 3rd place going into the final day. Ocean Price and Dale Furness from Wales continued their fine form, winning half of today's 6 stages. They put in a faultless drive on their first competitive outing in the Fiesta R2, getting to grips right from the first stages this morning. Price sits in 2nd overnight, 53 seconds adrift of the lead.
Yeah, it's been a great day. We had a big push on the first stage this morning. We managed to take some time out to Bernardo. And then from there on I was trying a little bit too hard and got caught out in a few places, but still managed to keep going. But we've had a reasonable afternoon and we're still in 2nd, so we can't complain.
But it's been local stars Bernardo Sosa and Hugo Magalhães who have controlled things from the front. The pair have used their local knowledge of the Portuguese tracks to push when conditions allow, backed off through the rough sections on the 2nd pass. Sosa holds a 53.5-second advantage over Price, with Vatanen nearly 2 minutes further back in 3rd. Nicola Siemin is 4th after a trouble-free day, with John Armstrong working his way back up the leaderboard into 5th. The final day of the opening round of the Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy took crews to the iconic FAF region north of Porto for the final 4 stages. Overnight rain brought slippery conditions but didn't dampen the spirits of the tens of thousands of fans who turned out for the closing action. After problems on the first day, John Armstrong and Noel O'Sullivan upped their pace today to set a fastest time on the penultimate stage.
There's lots of positives to take. You know, we haven't been too far away from the front pace in some of the stages. Obviously, them guys have been here last year, so it's really good for us to be competing against them and setting competitive times.
Bernardo Sosa and Hugo Magalhães held a strong advantage going into the final day. They set 8 faster stage times over the weekend and were in a commanding position to take victory on the opening round. But in a final stage twist, they made a mistake on the very last stage and rolled off the road into retirement. It was a gut-wrenching result for the local pair who hadn't put a wheel wrong all weekend. After a mistake-free weekend, 18-year-old French driver Nicolas Siemin, on only his 3rd ever rally, he cruised home to 3rd place and top rookie driver after mastering some tough conditions on the first round of the series.
I don't have the speed to be on the podium, but I stay on the road and the others drivers had some issues, so it's great to be here. I learned a lot. I increased the pace slowly but surely. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. It was tough. It was a tough rally, a long rally, but we're here, so I'm very, very happy.
Finland's Max Vatanen suffered from fuel pressure problems on Friday, but his experience from last season came to the fore. The 26-year-old with co-driver Thierry Salva stayed focused. A number of top 3 times over the weekend saw him finish comfortably in 2nd and get his championship challenge off to a strong start. But it was the Welsh pairing of Ocean Price and Dale Furness who benefited from Sosa's retirement. On their debut in the Fiesta Trophy and first rally in the Fiesta R2, they finished nearly 2 minutes ahead of Vatanen, with an additional 3 points for faster stage times.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome to be winners for the first round. Really didn't expect it. It's been a tough rally. We stuck to our plan. Obviously, commiserations to Bernardo. He drove very well, but yeah, we stuck to plan, as I say, and it paid off.
The pair celebrated a popular victory in the centre of Porto this afternoon. Price finished comfortably ahead of runner-up Vatanen, with Siem in third, the improving Armstrong fourth, and Dylan Van Wey in fifth. Jakub Brzezinski came home in sixth, with Oscar Solberg rounding off the pack in seventh. Price and Furness take an early lead with 28 points. Vatanen is 9 points behind, with Siemen a further 4 adrift. After an action-packed weekend, the Fiesta crews now head to Poland for round 2 in July.